Hey guys, if you're tired of shopping on Amazon and the big box stores for cheap quality landscape lighting, then go and check out lightingdoctor.ca, where we only sell premium quality fixtures that we actually install, and you can actually have the chance to go and test it and feel it for yourself with our try it before you buy it offer, where you can get a premium quality landscape light at a discounted rate and go and test it out with a battery pack around your property. Keep it for 14 days. If you love it, you get to keep it at the discounted rate. If not, you send it back for a full refund. And then you just have to buy the lights that you need after that. So go and check out our try it before you buy it lights and see what a real premium quality landscape lighting fixture should look like at lightingdoctor.ca. Hey guys, we just arrived on our project here in West Palm Beach, and one of the questions I get asked all the time is why landscape lighting? And you'll see all kinds of reasons for security and different things like that. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's you have a nice home, you have a nice property, whether you're entertaining friends or you've worked your whole life, and you want a place that you can have a vacation at home, that you can stay at home, and that you can enjoy everything you've done around your house. And so many people spend tens of thousands of dollars on landscaping. The problem is that at night it just all disappears. And on this project here in West Palm Beach, we discussed that with the homeowner, and they love plants. And as I kind of walk you through this property, you'll see there's literally plants and gardens everywhere. But the problem is at night it all disappeared outside of their pool area in their backyard that they have lit up with some underwater lights in the pool. There's really no lighting, so at night you didn't get to enjoy any of that. So that's a big reason on this project why they decided to add landscape lighting, and it's probably the number one reason. I mean, there is definitely some security reasons and benefits, but at the end of the day, you want your house to look good. You're going to spend tens of thousands of dollars on landscaping, or maybe you're not, or maybe you're only going to spend a couple $1,000 on landscaping, but at night it just disappears. Why not enjoy it all the time? Because even in the winter months, especially if you're placed down here in whether it be Phoenix, Arizona, or Florida, a lot of snowbirds, you come down here to hang out for the winter time when it's darker earlier, and yet you can't enjoy those landscapes and the beautiful palm trees and all the things that you have. So that's why landscape lighting, if you want your house to pop and you really want it to stand out, and I know so many of you guys do, because I see all the solar lights that get bought from Amazon and from all the big box stores. But if you want to get it really done properly, get a good quality professional landscape lighting system, and like so many of you guys have commented, I want to do this right and I want to do it one time. I don't want to be doing this year and year again. That's why you go to lightingdoctor.ca, shop our kits, go to YouTube, check out all our videos. We got over 300 how-to videos that I guarantee you we can show you guys how to do this. On this project, the homeowners helped us a whole bunch, did a bunch of wiring, and really we didn't have any issues. We were able to solve any quick issues, and they did a great job. So we're very appreciative that they could help, and very appreciative that they could learn very quickly, very easily how to install their own landscape lighting system. And even after we're done this project, they've even talked to adding almost a dozen more lights, but they're going to do it on their own because now they have the know-how. So again, go check us out on YouTube, lightingdoctor.ca. Hey guys, I just wanted to explain about something that we do all the time. It doesn't matter how many thousands of lights we put in, it's still a good idea. Luckily we got on this property, we got here the night before, and the first thing we did is we took our lights and the King Innovation Instalight that we throw in all our kits. You can get it with our Try Before You Buy a kit, which is basically this battery pack that you can just plug your lights into. And that first night, before we even though we had a design, sometimes when you step on site and you determine how many lights you actually have, you're going to have to maneuver some stuff. And that's why that King Innovation Instalight is a great tool for that, because then you can just go plug in these lights. And we literally walked around the property for an hour and a half and put different lights in different areas so that we could find out exactly where we wanted to put those before we started digging holes and doing all that kind of stuff. And because of that tool, we actually found some ways to get really creative and reduce some of the amounts of lights that we were using on the property, because we were just able to place and test those lights before we did any work. So it's a great tool, comes in all our kits. You get it with your Try Before You Buy It light, so it's something that you definitely want to take advantage before you even start your project. When you order your kit, grab one light and go and play around. And even with that said, we went that day and we placed all our lights. We got everything wired, which I always try and do the first day, is get everything wired. But we don't We don't bury anything because I want to see how those look at night first, because we might have to go make some adjustments, and that's exactly what I'm doing. Right here is we had some lights that really look good, but we have such a cool, unique kind of palm tree behind us that we decided to put another light. And the way we did that again is that we had our lights set. We knew where we wanted to put them. We placed them, and we had to move them a couple feet to get the desired effect. But then we took our battery pack and took another light and put it in some different areas around that same tree. And now we've got two lights that are going to be really highlighting this nice tree behind me. So again, test everything out the night before, so you can kind of get a real good idea of what lights you want where. And then that first night, just wire everything back to the transformer. Don't worry about burying anything that first day, because you're probably going to want to make changes. And that night, go around, see how things look, move lights a foot or two here or there. You'd be surprised how a foot here and there can sometimes make all the world of difference. Play with viewing angles, which side of the tree, which side of the feature that you're lighting looks best. So and that's something you can easily do again with that Instalight, the battery pack, because then you can just have a light in your hand and walk around everywhere. It's easier to do that than when everything's wired, but still take that extra step after you get everything wired. Go make sure everything looks the way you want. The whole purpose of this is you buy a premium quality light. You don't want to have to do this again, or you don't want to have to do this over and over year after year. So go and make sure you get it right the first time. Doesn't mean you can't add on, doesn't mean you can't make it better, but you can get a real good design just by going and testing it. And it might be a cliche, but seeing is believing. Sometimes you have to see it before you can really understand what that effect's going to look like. So test it with the King Innovation Instalight. It comes in all our try before you buy it offers, as well as all our kits come with it, because we want you guys to get the best design possible. Hey guys, I don't want to spend too much time talking about wiring. There's so many videos that we have on YouTube. You can go search Lighting Doctor wiring diagram for a real comprehensive take on how to wire your lights, how to wire each fixture, how to wire the last one, how to tee off into a line, all those kinds of things. We've done those videos to death. There's two connectors really like BVS2 connectors and your DVRY connectors. Both are gel filled, both are waterproof. Both do a really good job of keeping the wires together, so use those for all your connections. The only reason I wanted to kind of bring this one up is talk a little bit about just something extra, and I've talked about this in videos in the past, but even though you're using those connectors, it's always a good idea. In the past, I've always talked about throwing some extra electrical tape, really just to keep them from keep the wires from pulling apart. But something we're starting to do a lot more of too is just using zip ties instead, only because it's a little easier to work with, and they're a little bit stronger. They hold that wire together a little bit more. So it's just a quick tip to help prevent any wires coming apart down the road if you're doing any gardening and stuff. So I just wanted to quickly touch on that and just tell you, if you do have any wiring questions, go to YouTube, search Lighting Doctor, search wiring your lights, wiring diagram, whatever it is, and there'll be all kinds of videos. And then the last thing I wanted to talk about here, and I'll show you guys another example of what we had to do. So I'm on one side of the property, and the other side of the property is split by a driveway, concrete pads in the back. There was no way for us to get that wire really underneath without having to bring in some big expensive equipment to tunnel under the driveway. So we had to get a little creative and actually went up and over the house, up the gutters, up the downspouts, across the gutters, along the roof, and came back down on the side, and then backtracked to here, as well as now we're able to split wire to go to the backyard. So there's always a way to get wires, so sometimes you have to be a little creative, and I'll show you guys a little bit more of an example of how we did that. But just keep that in mind, because sometimes what that can do is that can save you having to get another costly, $200-300 transformer, maybe a little bit extra wire, but wire is going to be a little bit cheaper than a transformer, and now you still have everything running on one transformer, one unit, which is just easier to manage. Hey guys, I just wanted to take a quick minute and show you some cool things we did here for getting wire around. As you can kind of see behind me, I'm standing on a driveway that we weren't able to get wire from this side of the property behind me over to this other garden bed area without having to go all the way around the back of the house. And even then, that wasn't really a possibility because there's a lot of concrete work and stuff. So what we actually did is, if you can see behind me here, we have our transformer, and what we did is we actually ran it up, and I'll try and show you this, but up the downspout here and up the roof line. So it's actually up above me there. You can see where the gutter is. We actually ran it all the way in the gutter to the back of the property here, which is pretty cool. And then we just dropped down at another gutter spot over here that I'll try and show you. But yeah, so we just dropped it back down over here, and then we ran our wire back to the front section where we need some lights, and we were able to run more wire back there and kind of split our voltage load, which was not really an issue on this property, but it was just kind of a cool, unique way to get the wire across to the other side of this driveway without having to bring in big heavy equipment and do tunneling underneath the driveway. It's also a paving stone driveway, but it's kind of concreted in too, so we didn't want to mess with that too much. And just by going over above and atop, we were able to do it really easily. We also saved them a transformer. We didn't have to put another transformer in the back that still would have caused issues, but it probably saved them $300 to $400 there. We had to run a little bit extra wire, maybe $25, $30 of extra wire. But just by doing a simple little trick like that, which really didn't take that long, we were able to save the homeowner some money, get light to this beautiful garden area behind me, as well as to the rest of the property. Hey guys, I don't know if you can hear me over the dump trucks and fire trucks and everything, but I wanted to explain another thing why it's good to go and test those lights and check things the night before. We decided to do a couple featured trees on the property. So we got two beautiful palms right in the front, and we chose to put two lights on each of them so that we could have it look good for the homeowners from the house side, as well as have it lit up from the street. And a lot of times that's what you want to do. If you have a really key feature that you really want to stand out, use more than one light. It doesn't hurt to do that. But the one thing we did find is last night, even after that first night, we kind of tested out. We had a pretty good idea of where we were going to throw that light, but it wasn't until we got everything hooked up and last night we found that the light was only about a foot too close to the tree, and what it was doing is it was putting most of the light on the base of the trunk, and it wasn't putting enough to the top. And just moving it back, I would say 6 to 8 inches made all the difference, because now we had a more subtle light on the trunk, and we were casting a lot more light up into the giant palm tree leaves. So it doesn't matter how many lights you put in or how good you think you are at this. If you're not testing it at night, checking things out, use that battery pack to go and play around, you're gonna miss some things and you're not gonna get the full effect. So just by doing some of those things, even if it's your first time doing it, you can really install lights just like a professional landscaper or contractor would do. But in a lot of cases even better, because most of those guys don't even come back and check their lights at night. They just put them in, get out, and it's all done. And I think it's just ego if you don't test those lights first, because people are paying a lot of money for these lights, and especially if you're getting a good quality one that you don't want to have to redo, which so many of you guys have told me you just want to do this once in your lifetime. Well, that's how you go do it, and test them out so you can make sure you're getting the right effect, and go and check them out at night. This will bring home my point. We had a palm tree right behind me here, and initially when we'd kind of done the first testing, played with our Instalight, our thought was we're going to make these palm trees close to the street look really good from the street side, so that people driving by, walking by, really get the full effect. But what happened last night, we turned everything on, we tested it, and we had some other trees on the property, beautiful palm trees, that we had lit up from a different viewing angle, so from the homeowner's viewing angle. So the point of this topic is keep in mind your viewing angle. Where do you want that feature that you're lighting to look best? And that's where you want to place that light, because what we found is that the homeowner liked the way all the other trees on the property looked so much that they didn't care so much that the people on the street got the great view, and they're still going to, because we're pushing light up into that canopy, so they're going to see that. But they wanted to see the cool, unique features of the trunk of the palm trees and all that. So we ended up just moving the light right around the tree, 180 degrees on the other side, and now the street guys are still getting the view of the top lit up palm leaves, but now the homeowner gets to view the trunk and the other features more. So my point is, just keep in mind your viewing angle and try and walk the property or sit in the areas that you think you're going to want to see these things the most. There's a backyard area that we did the same thing, that originally we had like 12 lights planned for this one area, and just by keeping in mind the viewing angles and which way we were going to see things, we reduced that down to like 5 lights, because we realized we didn't need to light everything because we're not going to see all those different features and stuff. And just by lighting 5 of those in key spots and trying to fill some dark spots, having some consistency with spacing of lighting, we're able to go from 12 to 5 lights just by keeping in mind that viewing angle a little bit more. So that's one thing that you always want to do, and that's why that battery pack is such a good thing, because you can go set that up on a tree or a statue or whatever it is. You can go sit back on the area that you think you're going to be looking at it from. You can go and walk the property with that light lit up and see if that's actually where you want that light, if that's a viewing angle you're looking for. So always keep in mind viewing angles, not just from the outside, but even from the inside. Where are you going to be viewing that the most? Where we are up in Calgary, Canada, it's cold in the wintertime. I'm pretty much only seeing those lights from my kitchen table. I'm not going outside to look at them. So I want to keep those viewing angles in mind too. So just a quick tip about viewing angles, always keep that in mind when you're designing a landscape lighting system. Hey guys, so just a quick summary on our project here in West Palm Beach as we're wrapping up. A couple things that I really touched on in this video and I want to make sure you guys take advantage of is that King Innovation Instalight. That battery pack is such a huge tool. For me, who's put in thousands and thousands of light, but for somebody who's never done it before, it's probably the best thing you can get. And you can go and buy those on our website, but they come with all our do-it-yourself kits, so you can actually go and plug those lights in, those exact lights that you bought, not something similar, not a flashlight, anything like that, but those lights that you're going to use on your property. You plug them into this battery pack, and then you can go run around the property and put them all over the place and test out where you want to put those lights before you make your design final and permanent. And obviously we're going to help you that with our free consultations, where you can email me pictures of your property and we're going to walk you through some design ideas. But even with that, I can't be on site on everybody's property, so by having that little battery pack, it's a great way for you to go and test it out for yourself. Again, especially if it's your first time, or if you're a contractor and been doing it a long time, I think you need to have a demo kit with 5 or 6 of those in there, so that as you're going to people's properties, you can show them what it's going to look like. Because if that's one thing I found with landscape lighting, is you really need to see it before you believe it. As corny as that sounds, but it's one of those things that until you see it, you don't really know how much it's going to enhance your property. So that Instalight, that battery pack, is a lifesaver. It comes in all our try it before you buy it kits and all our complete kits as well. So go and use that. Second thing, less is always more, especially if you're getting started out. It was cool on this project. We had originally anticipated for a lot more lights, but just due to budget, we kind of knocked it back, and it forced us, even though we've been doing this for a long time, to get really creative of how we use those lights. And at the end of the day, we were probably able to save the homeowner 12 lights from that initial design. It was probably like $1,500 or more when you factor in all the installation costs and stuff. So it probably saved, $2,500 US by going and just being a little bit creative and forcing ourselves to be creative with less lights. And if you've never done landscaping before, I always suggest that. Start with fewer. You can always add on. Just plan for it, leave extra wire and spots, and then you can always add on more, which I guarantee you will as your landscape grows and different things like that. So, and then finally, the last point that I wanted to touch on is really just focus on key features. I think too many times we try and light everything on the property, whereas if you were just to pick a few really select, whether it be a tree, a statue, a water feature, something like that, and try and really make those pop. And even in areas, if you have a big property and you don't want to spend, tens of thousands of dollars on and put 60 lights in, instead of trying to put one light on every little thing, focus in on one area really good. You've got some giant palm trees, put 2 lights on that one. You've got a cool water feature, put 5 or 6 lights on that, as opposed to trying to spread everything out, because we've done that. We've made that mistake lots in the past, where we've tried to light everything and the whole project ends up looking like crap because nothing is lit properly. So if you are on a budget, focus on certain areas first, and then you can always expand down the road. Just pre-plan for that. That's pretty much all I wanted to touch base on, guys. A really fun project. I'm glad we got the chance to come out to Florida. It's minus 30 back home, it's plus 30 here. That's always a plus. For more videos, go to YouTube, search for Lighting Doctor on pretty much any how-to landscape lighting question that you could have, I can probably answer it there. If not, send me an email directly, cal@lightingdoctor.ca, and be sure to go and check out our Try It Before You Buy It kits on our website, as well as to get your free consultation where I can help you with your own landscape lighting design. So go visit us, lightingdoctor.ca. Hey guys, thanks for watching that video. I hope you guys got some great tips, and I hope you guys take advantage of your own free video consultation where you can send me a few pictures of your property, and I'm gonna get back to you with your own personalized video presentation with all kinds of tips and tools of how to go and light your own property. So to get that, go check us out at lightingdoctor.ca, or just email me a few pictures of your property at cal@lightingdoctor.ca.